Okay, folks, the last part of this project is something that we're going to call the color walk. And for this project, what I want you to do is just simply create a square, a grid of 9 squares, relatively equal size, okay? And then what we're going to do is I just want you to go out into the world, go outside, you can go indoors, find colors that you can begin to experiment matching, right? So here's a leaf that I've attempted to match the color of. Here's a piece of wood that I've been trying to match the color of. And then I've also found a rock to work with to get those colors to kind of be as close as possible. So you have to look closely, kind of analyze and experiment to get the colors that you need. So feel free to use the whole set to do this. If you get lucky and find a color that just simply works, go ahead and do that, but always experiment with how you can mix and match things together. So I'm going to work next with this flower that I found outside and try to get the color to be pretty close. Now this is a pink color, a little bit more towards violet. So I'm going to start with the crimson and see what I can get. Now, in order to do this, I recommend that you either you can work on the side of the page here. You can also work with a scrap piece of paper if you like. You can always sort of like test out the color and hold it up next to the object and see how well you do. Now, overall, that color is not too bad, but I think there is a pastel kind of hue to it. And so I'm going to mix in a little bit of white and see where that will take it. I haven't really talked about mixing white yet, but you certainly can use this. I'm going to mix this over on the side a little bit with a little bit more water and see how close I can get. So again, the key here is just to do little test swatches and see how it turns out. Looks like it needs a little bit more violet, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of this blue over here and put that in there, which darkens it quite a bit. So then I'll go back and add a little bit more white to lighten this. And I think we're getting pretty close. So once you've achieved the color that you feel like really works, then go ahead and fill in that square with the color. Okay. Just, fill it in to its entirety. And then I want you to label it. So for all these colors, just simply label what it is. This one I would label flower. The one above I'd label leaf, wood, rock, things like that. And I'm looking for a variety of different types of color. So not all green, for example. Think about the variety of different things you can experiment with mixing and matching. So anything that you have laying around, whether it be tools you're working with or objects that you find, things in nature, 9 different things that you experiment with the color palette and just play around until you get something really close and then add those colors. What you'll end up with is a nice grid here of 9 different colors and their combinations. Again, this is practicing mixing and matching color and thinking about how color mixes. If you end up with tones that are rather muted, refer back to the way that complementary colors mix. If you're mixing up a yellow and you need it to be just a tinge darker, try adding in a little bit of violet. Likewise, if you need a brown hue, but it's a little bit more towards gray, try mixing in a little bit of blue into a red, orange, or even to an umber to get that color to get muted down, right? Complementary colors will mute colors down, make them more towards earth tones, gray colors out quite a bit, and really allow for a nice balance of tone. So overall assignment, color wheel, complementary color value scheme, and a 9-panel color walk where you're matching colors and then also labeling. So here I would just write flower. Okay, you can be more specific if you know the exact name of the flower. That's cool too. But consider, just looking around, maybe you can go for a walk and pick some things and come back into this small studio and mix those colors together. Okay, so those 3 things will make up the first exercise assignment, and that will be due this week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.